Okay, so in my classroom, I'm going to go to classwork. I'm going to scroll down here to Unit 3 Automation. I'm going to click VexVR Activity 6, Draw a Triangle. I'm going to open up my vexvr.com website. I'm also going to open up the Draw a Triangle Google Doc instructions. So in our instructions, it says we need to be in the Art Canvas playground. So I'm going to come in here, open up my playground. Okay, we're in the Art Canvas. If you're not, make sure you click the drop-down menu, select the Art Canvas, and notice this one starts us in the middle of the playground, not the bottom left corner, which is good. That's where we want to be. So, level 1, use the gyro sensor and the pen to draw a triangle. For this, I'm going to focus more on using our angles and our turning in a certain degrees to draw the triangle, but we still do need that pen tool down so we can see our triangle drawn. Also in the helpful ends, it mentions that you can use this turn to heading. Now that does help you. You can use that. It pretty much does the same thing as turning to a certain degrees. But for my video, and I find it easier to, again, keep using that turn to a certain, turn right or left for whatever degrees versus the turn to heading. But you're welcome to try it out. It does work pretty much the same. Okay, so level 1, use the gyro sensor pen to draw a triangle. So to draw my triangle, I'm going to again start with changing just the drive velocity and the turn velocity to 100. This will speed up our simulation process. And then I also can drop my pen tool down right away since we're already in the center of the art canvas. Now I'm going to need to drive a certain distance forward. And then I'm also going to need to turn to a certain angle. So let's start, we're going to turn right for 30 degrees. Sorry, not 30. This is going to angle us a little bit facing up so we get that first side of our triangle. And I can drive forward for, let's say, 500. So if I hit simulate, you can see we turn just a little bit and then I drive up. So that's going to be our first side of the triangle. Now, to get our second degrees, we're facing 30 degrees this way. We want to start coming back down to get the second side. So you have to do a little bit of math. I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it again. Basically, you can see this one side here. A straight line is 180 degrees. If I'm already facing 30, then this open part here where I want to face back down and start coming back down after doing some math is 120 degrees. If you need help with this, let me know. If you don't want to do the math, just use the angles that I did. You can also go on and look up a triangle angle calculator and you can kind of plug in your 3 distances and it'll give you the angles. So I'm going to turn right for 120 degrees. I'm going to drive forward for 500 millimeters again. So now we're going to be down here. Yep. Then we need that last side. I can do 120 degrees again. It's going to turn me back facing this way. And again, I did the same math as I did for the second angle. 120 degrees. And drive forward for that 500. And that should close up our triangle. Check it out. Side 1, side 2, side 3. Perfect. Okay, let's look at level 2. Use a gyro sensor and the pen tool. Again, we're going to do the same thing we just did to draw a right triangle. One angle, the triangle must be 90 degrees. Okay, so I think it's easiest if we just start with our first angle being 90 degrees. So we can actually keep almost all of our code. The only thing I'm going to get rid of is the first turn we did of 30 degrees. Because if we're going to start with our first angle at 90 degrees, we don't need to turn it all. We can just drive straight up, and that'll give us that 90-degree angle. So the first time I'm just going to drive up 500, not even touch it. So let's check it out. This isn't quite right, but you can see that we would have that first angle. We pretty much draws the same triangle again. But we don't have a right angle in here. So what we're going to do is extend the second side of the triangle down farther, so then we can draw straight across here and get this right angle. Okay, so instead of driving just for 500, why don't I drive for 1,000? Now you can see, okay, we're going, we turn, now we're going to drive all the way down. So now this is flat. We're not going to quite be coming back to it yet, but now we have the opportunity to change this angle and draw straight across to get a right angle. I'm going to change this third turn, not to 120, but we need to turn a little bit farther. I didn't quite make it, so we're going to do 150 degrees. And you can also see we're not driving quite far enough out, so why don't I drive out 900 millimeters instead of 500? If I hit reset, I can hit play. See, we're driving, there's a right angle. We're going to drive down. And we drove the correct distance. We matched it up, and we also have our right angle right here, right in the bottom left of the triangle. So this actually also is the same way to do level 3, which is using the gyro sensor to draw a right angle, and one of the angles must be 60 degrees as well. We have our 90 and a secondary angle at 60. Now this top angle right here, this is actually already at 60 degrees. Because if you remember, we turned 120 degrees up here. So it leaves us with 120 on the outside and 60 on the inside. So this angle is already at 60 degrees. We don't have to do it again. So for this one, you're just going to, again, take your screenshot of the block code, your playground with the triangle drawn on it, and submit me for a grade. If you have questions on this, if you have questions on the math, on what angles you're using, what distance you should go, let me know. Other than that, good luck, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.